Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome. I, Rachna Gupta, feel extremely glad to welcome everyone to this much awaited international conference as it embarks the 7th international conference hosted by our esteemed institution imsnoida. It gives me immense pleasure to be standing amongst the most esteemed personalities who have won accolades in their respective fields. Before we kick-start the conference, I would like to express my deep gratitude towards everyone who has worked sincerely towards making this conference a great success. This would have never been possible without each and everyone who's present here and who has provided their immense support and their talent in making this particular event happening today. On behalf of my institution, I am highly obliged to various academicians, industry experts and students who have made it to this conference and would be presenting their papers on varied themes of GDKP, that is Gross Domestic Knowledge Product, which is the need of the hour. These papers would ultimately enlighten all of us, and this particular factor, that is knowledge in the entire computation of the gross domestic national product of our country, would definitely be a contributing element. To begin with, light is a very universal symbol of truth, knowledge and understanding. It acts as a guiding force, keeps us from stumbling from the dark. So I humbly request all our dignitaries to kindly light the lamp. Music, art, wisdom and nature. Let us start our day by offering a small prayer at her lotus feet. Saraswati, in the form of goddess, is mostly presented in the form of dance. Here as well, we, the students of BJMC, are present here, Nupur, Anjali and Reshu, and shall be offering the Saraswati Vanda.
Saraswati
This gathering marks the 7th International Conference hosted by imsnoida on innovation and index reality, vis-a-vis birth of COVIDnomics, with special emphasis on new matrices for the wealth and health of a nation, gross domestic knowledge product of India. In a literal sense, knowledge refers to acquaintance or familiarity of facts, truths, principles, which is gained by sight, experience, or report. Referring to the same, when this knowledge is so powerful, why not it shall be considered to be an integral part while we are calculating the gross national domestic product of a country? With the same objective, this particular idea was introduced, where it was thought that this particular knowledge having such a huge impact in inculcating anything or making anything or advancing anything. So why not this particular individual factor should be considered while we are calculating the total country's contribution. So with the same, I humbly invite all our dignitaries to please take the dais. Next in the order, would like to invite Professor Govind Kumar Goyal to please felicitate Dr. Hari Krishna Maram. Next, would like to request Professor Govind to kindly facilitate Mr. Manish Srivastava. I would request Dr. Manju Gupta to please felicitate our international student, Mulungi and Joanna. Requesting Dr. Manju Gupta to facilitate Mr. Rao. Moving ahead in the order, would like to request our Dean Academics, Dr. Manju Gupta, to kindly address the audience. Dr. Manju Gupta is Dean Academics at IMS Noida. She has delivered training on various IT technologies like Java, web development, digital marketing, basics and advanced Excel, project management, data analytics to various clients like CDAC, NISBUD, Aris Infotech, Test Enclave, RGCMS, Vardhaman Tires, Nirmal Polymers Delhi, Cognizant, WNS Global, GoDaddy, Trimble Solutions India, Synergetic, Syntel, and many more national and international participants. She is offering performance-driven leadership and training experience in the areas of IT operations, business creation, team structuring and management, building strategic alliances, drive distribution, successfully managing P&L, competitive intelligence, project management skills, and process excellence. She has handled the courses of Harvard Business School, HBP Advanced Excel and Modeling, SAP, IBM, Business Analytics, Cloud Computing, and Mobile Computing. She has interacted with the faculty of repute institutes like IIMA, NID, and professors of innovative teaching practices. Her key expertise areas are business, strategic planning, business analysis, operations and delivery, industry relationship, team management, training and development. She also holds a strong interpersonal and presentation skills, leadership abilities, and persuasive communication. Would humbly invite ma'am to please address the audience.
Good morning, everyone. So, respected dignitaries on the dais, delegates, faculty members, and my dear students. First of all, I really heartily welcome to all the guests present here, and of course, my students who really have worked hard for this conference. But this conference is really very important because we are discussing on a very important aspect about GDKP. Now, what this GDKP is all about, I am going to tell you in this my speech. So, the topic for the international conference is Innovation and Index Reality, where we are discussing an emphasis on the new metrics for the wealth and health of the nation. And we are talking about gross domestic knowledge product of India. Moving further, because this idea is propounded by Professor Umberto Salfazzo, who is from the University of Southern California, with Professor Jeff Cole of Center of Digital Future and Annenberg School of University of Southern California. They spent 17 years tracking digital development across the globe. Professor Jeff Cole, along with Professor Salfazzo, make the GDKP one of their top priorities. It is Professor Salfazzo's long and fruitful relationship with India that has led the efforts to begin the calculation of GDKP with India. As per their understanding, GDKP has global implication for the world and strong implication for India in understanding the progress of knowledge and learning. Since this idea is propounded by Professor Salfazzo and he has presented to Niti Aayog, so the chairman of Niti Aayog and CEO of Niti Aayog, Shri Amitabh Kantji, and the vice chairman Dr. Rajiv Kumar, who was the first supporter GDKP economic model, he also praised the knowledge intensity of any economy that may well define as the future prospect or growth prosperity and specialty in this modern digital world, which include artificial intelligence and deep learning. He, along with CEO of Niti Aayog, emphasizes on that GDKP is a revolutionary step, and there is no doubt that from an economic point of view, the decades we are about to live will be dominated by K factor. Now, what is this K factor? I'll explain. Namely, the knowledge impact on wealth, politics and security, and therefore quantifying the wealth K of a country in global economic term, and that was never done, is a decisive functional tool of the government. Now, I'm sure everybody, we are talking since many days about GDKP. So what this GDKP is all about and how this GDKP is going to be the economic factor for our country and how this is the modern economy. So the GDKP measure a nation growth and future through 4 basic pillars. Now what these pillars are? The first is knowledge, which identify the both modern and local distinct culture knowledge item in distinct category. So India is full of knowledge, and of course we have a distinct culture also. So how this distinct culture knowledge items in distinct category will identify the modern and economic. The second is country knowledge product matrix, which is the comparison of knowledge produced by the government, private institution and household as a differentiated way to impact on the GDP. Third is country knowledge user metrics, the value of knowledge bought by individual and private companies as a way to measure their modernization efforts. The last one is cost of learning, similar to the cost of living, to be used as a political reference for government budgeting decisions through education, family bonds, education credit card, etc. to support young citizens. Now, how we define GDKP in Indian economy or in Indian context? So, the value of objects that are considered standard knowledge item, which include production of newspapers, school, patent, teaching, and a wide range of digital item. We are living in the digital world. We are living in digital economy. So, the value of specific knowledge item related to national culture, which include reflection of culture and religious teaching like yoga, Veda and dance, religious festival and harvest festivals. So the diffusion of knowledge item within the total population as a tool to evaluate future growth. The multiple effects of digital knowledge distributor on the population over a time through I'm sure this concept is really going to be in the head because we are continuously talking about how this GDKP can enhance the economy of our country. So the comparison of knowledge and the value of knowledge bought by individual as a measure of individual perception of modern way to produce wealth. The value of knowledge acquired by private companies as a way to measure their modernization efforts, which is reflected in the country knowledge user metrics. The cost of learning for individual as a political reference for government budgeting decisions to support young citizens. The cost of investing in knowledge for sectors of the economy as a government budgeting decisions to fair fiscal policy to modernize a country. Now, what would be the outcome of GDKP? Since for next 2 days we are going to discuss about GDKP only. So how and what this GDKP will enhance and what would be the outcome of GDKP? So where we are adding K as a knowledge factor. So knowledge is by far the most strategic element for globalization in the information technological revolution and digital economy. GDKP contribute to a country knowledge, appreciating potential economic growth, and it create a total new risk evaluation of international financing useful for World Bank and other big financial institutions. Now I am coming to the main point that what would be the role of imsnoida as to implement this GDKP, to modernize or maybe to float across the country about GDKP. So what would be the IMS vision as a this modern management? So to be a world-class institution transforming millions of young life through quality-based education with focus on management and technology, leading to development of human resource, knowledge, innovation, entrepreneurship and research. We also focus on to impart vibrant, innovative and global education to make IMS the world leader in terms of excellence in education and research. Now on this occasion, I would really be very, very happy to announce IMS institution as a knowledge management hub for GDKP India. So GDKP India Center at IMS as the knowledge management hub of India, which would be the center of all management policies of knowledge. And as we all know that knowledge in the internet era or digital world is becoming the most traded goods. Knowledge is being outsourced in this global and digital world. I want to make IMS as a knowledge management hub, and I feel proud to say that I want to be the person that create this center to manage the circulation of knowledge, and we are the first one to do this conference in the entire world. So I'm really, really proud of this. That is why I like GDKP India at IMS, and I want GDKP India become the hub of managing circulation of K factors in India. So me and my organizing team feel very proud to launch the idea of making GDKP India at IMS the hub of management of knowledge, and we want to promote use of knowledge for school, for government and for firm. So you see any firm think that stats make economy and does not understand that it is exactly the other way round. It is the economy that makes stats. If stats would make economy, the world would still be in Paleolithic age. Railroad in USA would never appear. Highways would never be made. GDKP India would be discarded because it cannot find some numbers. I can't believe GDKP India is the main road to activate hundreds of millions of Indians into the workforce. Think of the index of cost of learning. How powerful is the idea? How powerful is the idea of digitization of all illiterate? Do fight to protect GDKP India, and I'm sure we'll make it, and India deserves that. Billions of people daily exchange messages. Knowledge is not anymore just the enlist type created by special structure and make circulated in special structures. Knowledge now is produced also by common people and circulate by common people. So now the formula of GDKP, which has been propounded by Professor Salfaso, is mass of people that get access to internet. We are already living in digital world. We are already living in the internet world, but then mass of people has to have the get access of internet. Time, which is the knowledge item that must circulate, and velocity. Velocity is the number of exchanges in 1 unit of time. So given this formula, I think it would be extremely important to speed up the circulation of knowledge in the global and digital world, which is the future too. Formula also suggests here that future knowledge-based economy will be preferred over product-based economy. So, my dear student, you must be very careful about how this knowledge-based economy will overpower the product-based economy. And we are discussing for these 2 days, coming 2 days, about the same thing. So to increase the wealth of the country, we not only have to increase the knowledge, but we have to make it circulate faster and with more people. So that is the first step we are going to take at IMS Noida, that we want to circulate this information to the masses that what all GDKP is about. So this is very management important goal, how we make circulation faster and with more people and make GDKP India as the vision of the government, as well as IMS is instrumental in making this vision into realities. We want to make the first knowledge management hub of GDKP India, and I really thank you to all the participants who are present here, all the guests who have been present on the dais and off the dais. I'm really happy that we are going to discuss on this subject, and of course in the preceding session we'll be discussing more about this concept and we'll come to a conclusion that how this GDKP India is going to be the modern economy of the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that valuable information on GDKP. Since we have Dr. Leela with us, would like to request Dr. Manju to please order Dr. Leela. Would humbly request Mr. Jagdeep Man to be on the dais, and would request Govind sir to please facilitate him. Ruko. Would request Mr. Ravi Arora to please be on the dais, and would request Manju ma'am and Pramod sir to please felicitate him as well. Next in order, would like to invite Dr. Hari Krishna Maram, Chairman, Vision Digital, CEO, GDKP, India Initiative. Dr. Hari Krishna Maram is a Digital Brand Ambassador and Chairman of Vision Digital India and Vice Chancellor of Global Digital University, USA. His work in the field of management spans over 26 years. He has worked a decade in the leading MNC Novartis Global Pharma. He has an illustrious career in education and has served the Governing Council member at IMA, Managing Committee member CII, Chairperson International Facility Management Association, and the Vice President at AIMS. His effort in management education have been recognized on numerous occasions by the Government of India. He is also a part of the UGC committee. Besides being an excellent academician and educationist, he is involved with large number of CSR activities. Additionally, he is the chief mentor of the great initiative Bangalore Green, which aims at environmental conservation in Bangalore. Throughout his lifetime, he has received many prestigious awards. It's a great honor for all of us to be hearing from you, sir. I humbly invite you at the dais.
Good morning. So what a great day to remember. So there are a lot of parallel things are happening on today, but one of the greatest milestone I can say in the history of Indian economy, that is the launching of this conference talks about GDKP. I think Dr. Manju Gupta Madam, the Dean Academics of IMS, given a complete overview how this GDKP helps the nation, India as a strong nation. And before going to the topic, what I would like to say, first of all, I would like to congratulate, I always say she's a power woman. We awarded her with a World Book of Record last year in a iconic town hall in Bangalore as a power woman. So she's really a role model in taking decisions, in moving towards faster. So one of the best example I can say is when this conference was planned, we had just a 2-3 minutes phone talk that why not we name this conference the theme Little Changes. Then within a few minutes, I think she said, yes, we will move to that and we will rename this entire conference, and all happened over 24 hours and the new creative is developed and the new theme is created. So this is, as rightly told by Dr. Manju Gupta, it's first in the world, and the inventor is from US, but the country which is going to benefit is India. The reason the inventor Dr. Umberto Salpaso and myself, we are friends from last a decade. I visited almost 4 to 5 times his university, that is University of Southern California in Los Angeles. This is one of the best university in the world where they produced highest number of Nobel laureates. The computer which we are using today in the world are invented from this university. And the kind of work they are doing is a phenomenal. So when I visited him, actually this idea was not there. I visited for other purpose, then the friendship developed. So exactly I think 3 years back when he was in India, I just met him for a few days. We were staying in the same hotel and interacting how new things can be implemented in India, though he given a surprise telling that he got appointed by Niti Aayog to develop a new theory, that is what the GDKP. Then I was so excited and said, so how we can work and what is this GDKP? Then that is the time he introduced me to the Niti Aayog Vice Chairman, Dr. Rajiv Kumar, who is the world's leading economist, who worked in the academia and moved to as a bureaucrat, and today he heads one of the major decision maker of the country, India, which contribute to the 1.35 billion people lives, that is Niti Aayog, and he directly reports to none other than Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi. So this idea, as rightly told by Dr. Manju Gupta, which actually invented from US, but this is got an exclusive usage and right only to India. So that is what the commitment taken by the Indian government, the Niti Aayog. So when this idea came, when this GDKP thing invented, the first thing, the foremost thing what they visualized is to add knowledge to the economy, and that knowledge is through skills. So this GDKP not only just talking the K factor, this is going to touch the life of each individual of this country. Yesterday when we were talking in the Noida Media Club with a lot of our media friends, we are telling the same thing. Today, the 5 trillion dream of Narendra Modi, it's not only his dream, this is the dream of entire 1.35 billion people of India, and this can be achieved only through skills. So today I think what I'm telling the milestone thing for the Indian history is, today IMS is taken this initiative, the entire IMS team worked towards this, and today we are announced the IMS Knowledge Hub, which is going to be a first in its initiative in its kind in the world, to start as a journey, to start as a first step. Yesterday, after the media meeting, we had a couple of other meetings, very interesting meetings. How we can take this GDKP into the next level, how we can able to reach large number of Indians through different platforms. We met the decision makers in media, the decisions maker in the government, and things are moving in a very positive direction, because everybody who understand what is that K and how this K is going to help this country, definitely they are going to work towards this GDKP project. And I represent multiple organizations, but this GDKP Center is a beginning from today, officially. And this GDKP Center is going to work closely with Niti Aayog, Government of India, and large number of universities in the country, large number of the colleges in the country. And we already have a primary discussions with more than 10 chief ministers about this project, including the CM, which he is going to get a swearing ceremony today, where we are sitting, the UP Chief Minister Sri Yogi Adityanath ji, quite excited to listen to this project. And that is how I think this happened 2 years back when we discussed about this project. That is the time we were talking about making UP as a 1 trillion economy. And today it is getting a reality. So the 5 trillion economy, what we are talking, is going to happen definitely when we can able to implement the GDKP, the knowledge factor, where through GDKP we are going to skill 80 crore youth in India, 80 crore youth in India. And this is going to be a world's largest skill development initiative. If you count maybe the largest economies of 10 in the world, you don't get that many youth, but we have that many youth in India, and they require skills. Today, skill is not only going to give opportunity, it is going to create the knowledge, it is going to create wealth to the nation. So yesterday, one of the media person was asking very interesting question. He said, you are talking about GDKP, we are talking about knowledge, economy, but still people are living in the same conditions. Then I said, today the entire wealth which is there in this world, the 100 trillion, out of this 100 trillion, 50 trillion economy is belong to 500 people. Where we have a 7.5 billion people in this world, but the half of the wealth belong to only 500 people. So, in fact, he asked the right question. Today, even you talk about the Indian economy, the 3 trillion economy, out of that 1.5 trillion economy is with 100 people, the richest people of India. So what is going to happen to the remaining people, the 1.35 billion people? So if they get a knowledge, if they get a skills, then the game changer will change. Because today we are talking about only two names, that is Mr. Mukesh Ambani, Mr. Adani. But if we create a knowledge, we create a startup ecosystem in this world, we can create lakhs of Adanis, we can create lakhs of Mukesh Ambanis. That is what we were talking. So today when we talk about US economy, which is one of the largest economy of 20 trillion, but exactly 150 years back, US is a tribal area. All tribal used to live in US. And 150 years back, India is a Vishwaguru. India is having universities like Nalanda, Takshashila, and people from across the world used to walk for 6 months, 1 year, to come here to study. So from here, where we are moving. So if we don't have a knowledge, we don't have a skills, same thing will happen. So today, how the Germany developed, how the China is developed, it is only through skills, through the best manufacturing practices, through best innovations. Today, if you talk about the 10 top richest people in this world, starting from Tesla to Amazon to Mark Zuckerberg to, Bill Gates, it's all innovations. And these innovations are not happened overnight. This happened over the period of time. The same way, this GDKP journey starting from imsnoida, going to spread from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, touching each life of the people. And I am very confident with the kind of team, with the kind of people involved in this project, definitely it's going to be a great milestone in the history of India, and we will definitely see, each one of us sitting in this auditorium will see the future of India, will see how India will progress as one of the largest economy in the world in the next coming 10 years. I'm not talking about 2050. We will see in next 10 years what India is, and definitely that time we will remember this day, the launch of GDKP in IMS Noida. So once again, I would like to congratulate the entire team of IMS headed by the dynamic leader, Dr. Manju Gupta, who is the Dean Academics, for bringing this initiative and supporting this initiative and understanding this concept. And definitely, madam, we are with you, and definitely this project is going to be one of the milestones in the history. And thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those valuable information and your deep concern towards the knowledge of the country and the nation and its impact that it would create once we include that in the entire computation. Next in the order, we have a special presentation by Dr. Jeff Cole, who is the CEO of the Center of Digital Future of Annenberg School of University of Southern California. Furthermore, Dr. Jeff Cole has been at the forefront of media and communication technology issues, both in the United States and internationally for the past 3 decades. And he's an expert in the field of technology and emerging media. Cole serves as an advisor to governments and leading companies around the world as they craft digital strategies. Cole founded and directs the World Internet Project, a long-term longitudinal look at the effects of computer and internet technology, which is conducted in over 35 countries. In 1900s, Cole worked closely with the 4 broadcast network, ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox, dealing with television programming issues under an antitrust waiver that allowed the networks to work together for the very first time. Upon the release of the 1996 report, Cole held a joint press conference with the President, Bill Clinton. His awards and honors include Ellis Island Medical of Honor 2020 and Distinguished Teaching Award, UCLA 1987.
Go back to the Second World War, there were shortages, we had loved ones in harm's way, but even during the war, we went to school, we went to work, we ate at restaurants, we went to sporting events. We've never seen anything like this. Now, I'm a digital guy. I've been tracking the internet for 21 years because I became convinced in the 90s that digital was going to change everything. Well, this we've been experiencing since March of 2020. This is the victory lap of the internet. The internet was ready. Most of us have 2 or 3 days to move school online, work online, buying online, entertainment online. And within a week, what couldn't be done online two going to work, two going to school, and a fifth watching Netflix at the same time. This may be the first time in history that kids were screaming at your parents, I gotta go to school, get offline. So we have seen disruption like never before. And I think this is the first time since the 1940s that we know that everything in our lives may change. The last time we experienced this, I think, my background as a history major, there are other people who may see it differently. I think the last time we were in this situation was 1944, when the Allies took Paris. And we still have almost a year of the war left, but we knew in 44 that the Allies were going to win the war, and then everything would change coming out of the war. There would be a baby boom and marriage and relationships and so many women in the workplace during the war. We knew that everything might change. Well, I think we know now that everything in our lives, I don't know that it's going to change, but I think it's going to be reconsidered. We're going to rethink where we work and how we work, maybe even what we do. We're going to rethink where we live and do we want to be in cities, and do we want to use public transportation or private transportation, how we're going to buy, is it, we're going to go back to movie theaters, will we travel? In America, people have been buying, and it's probably true in the UK, I know it's true in Australia, recreational vehicle sales, are through the roof. People want their own moving hotels because they don't want to stay in hotels with other people. And they're going to places like national parks and wilderness. Now, I have friends who say in a year you'll be able to make the world's best deal on an RV. But it may take us a couple of years before we want to get back on crowded airplanes and go to New York and London and Hong Kong. We'll see. So to understand this, and I'm going to do a pitch here, but we're launching a project. We think it's going to take 5 years to see which changes are temporary and which changes are permanent. I think, for example, temporary. We're going to go back to school as soon as possible. Students will become teachers. I think some things will take a couple of years. Going back to movie theaters, traveling. We think some of the changes are permanent. The buying behavior that moved online, we think is permanent. Some people working from home, some percentage of the time, not being back to real estate, we think is permanent. So we're going to track over the next 5 years across 7 areas to see what changes are temporary and what are permanent. But of course, during this whole period, some of the things we discovered during COVID were accelerations of old trends. Buying online, we've seen since 2000 that online has played an increasing piece of overall commerce. That's just being accelerated. We've seen that working from home a little bit, largely employers were suspicious of working from home. There was some of it, depending on the situation. But most employers felt that unless the work occurred in front of them, it didn't really occur. You know, a job because it wasn't fulfilling, that wasn't what jobs were supposed to be. Jobs were trying to make money to take care of their family. So either we're going to see some people just forget this thing ever happened in a couple of months, and some of us may carry it with us the rest of our lives. But there are going to be extraordinary opportunities and lots of change.
Thank you so much, sir, for that recorded presentation.